Okay, so summer movies are back officially now. It's Memorial Day weekend. We've got a big movie, Quiet Place 2. This was supposed to come out. This was like I think this was going to come out the week that you know everything shut down. Really, like it was going to come out that week. It had already been delayed, but it was originally supposed to come out then. Obviously, you know what? What are we at? 14 months later, it's finally out. Um, and of course, this is the sequel to the really great first one. The first one from 2018, I think. Uh, Great movie, one of the best horror movies probably I've ever seen. Um, and this sequel's really fucking good too. Like this sequel is really really good. It's a little more. It's not quite as like horror centric. There's like tense parts, but there's a little more action. So it's I saw one review kind of compared it to like Aliens versus Alien, and I think that's kind of accurate. It's like there's still like horror elements to be sure, but there's a little more action. Uh, but yeah, it's really fucking good too. This is maybe just a notch or two below the first one. Just because there's nothing in this that's like as good as as memorable as like the scene in the first one where Emily Blunt's giving birth in the bathtub with the monster around. Um, but I mean like the best thing in the movie for me is the beginning. Like they show part of this, a big chunk of this in the trailer. It's like the first day that the monsters are there. Um, but there's a lot more to it. There's it's not just Emily Blunt driving around. Um, if you think the worst thing that can happen during a baseball game is Alexander Colome coming into pitch, this movie might give you another idea. There are worse things that can happen, but it's a whole big set piece of that day, like not even like a day, just like a real short snippet of the day. I mean, fantastic. I would have watched a whole movie of just recounting that day. Like that would have been a great movie just on its own. But then we flash forward, and most of it's basically just picking up right where the first one left off. And a lot of this is in the trailer. This is the trailer. I saw this trailer. I probably saw the trailer for this movie more times in my life than any trailer recently, because I saw this trailer for months before COVID hit. Then they were showing it again because it got delayed to like last fall, and then it was supposed to come out. It was supposed to come out like in September, I think. So they were starting to show it again after theaters opened back up for a while. Then they bumped it again, and then I've been seeing the trailer for it again a whole bunch of times now in the last couple months. So yeah, I pretty much have every scene of. So it's one of those things where you're watching the movie and you're ticking off in your head, okay, this thing is in a trailer. Like you see one character wearing something, and you're like, I know what's going to happen because there's this scene later, the scene that hasn't happened yet, where this character is wearing this thing, and so we know what's going to happen. Um, but yeah, most of it's the family, Emily Blunt's family. They're going off. Away from home, and they run into Cillian Murphy, and that's no spoiler. That's in the trailer. From there, it's a little more. They didn't give away too much, but it's very good. You know, um, like Cillian Murphy's got a big part in this, bigger part than I expected. He's very good. Blunt's very good, of course. The kid, like the daughter, Millicent Simmons is I think her name. She's fucking awesome in this. Like she's very much the lead in this. I think almost because her actions are kind of really driving what's going on. Like she's awesome in this. And the other kid, the son. If I had to nitpick something that's kind of annoying, the son does some really stupid shit in this movie. There's a couple things that you're like, how the hell did you survive a year and a half with these monsters, even with smart parents? Um, but there's a lot of really good set pieces. There's not really anything that's really scary. Like there's a couple parts where you're kind of they do get you tensed up pretty good, but there's nothing really scary. Um, the monsters are cool. We see a little more of the monsters. Um, um, and yeah, I mean it's and it ends in a place they could absolutely do another one. I certainly think they're going to do another one because I would think this is going to do a lot of business again. I don't know, who knows what what kind of money these movies make nowadays. Everything's open up now. I mean, this was like one of the first times I've been able to watch a movie without a mask on too for the whole duration of this. But other than times where I'm the only one in the theater, then I don't have to wear a mask. But yeah, this, I'm sure it'll do really well, and I'm sure they will make a third one. And there's certainly it's left pretty open ended. There's definitely some easy paths if they want to do a third one. So I still think this you would have to put this in the horror genre. So this is probably one of the best horror sequels I've ever seen. There aren't that many, but yeah, I think this is really, really good. I think, I love the first one. I love this one. I would be pretty shocked if people who really like the first one, which is most people, I would be pretty shocked if they didn't like this one, unless it's just, hey, we don't have John Krasinski and his big beard in the movie as much. He's in it a little bit in the beginning, but other than that, it's it's not a retread. They do different stuff in this movie, and it's good. So, very good movie. This was definitely, we have kind of a choppy summer movie slate that, there's only a few other big ones that I'm really even aware of coming out. But this was probably top 5 for me for the summer. Summer movie season. It used to start. Hey, I'm old enough. I can remember when the summer movie season used to start on Memorial Day weekend. It hasn't always been the first week of May, or hell, even the last week of April with a couple of these Avengers movies. But this is how it used to be. The first big movie of the summer was always Memorial Day weekend. I'm trying to think when that ended. That probably ended in I think probably Twister maybe might have been the one that kind of ended that, because that came out in the beginning of May. So probably it's probably been about 25 years since the big movie would come out on Memorial Day weekend. But it's nice to have them back. I saw they showed some previews at the movie today for other delayed movies. We got Black Widow, we got Fast Furious 9, we got Top Gun. I don't know I think Top Gun's not coming out till the fall, but those should all be good. This, and this one was really good. So yeah, Quiet Place Part 2. If I got to give it a number, I'd probably give this like a 9.5 maybe. It's really fucking good. There's only a couple little nitpicks. There's one little part where they run into, a couple characters run into some other characters who look like they might have been in a Pirates of the Caribbean movie for a while. But they're not in it much, and that, I was a little worried, like, oh god, or is this going to be the last part of the movie as we're dealing with these guys? No, that doesn't happen. But and again, the son does some really dumb shit in the movie, like that makes me wonder what the hell how'd you live this long? But yeah, very good movie.